Check 1, 2, it works. Good morning. My name is Erki. I am from Smiley. I'm glad to be back. I was here last year on Blue stage. I was talking about must-have marketing automation workflows and why it's important in email marketing to do. How is personalization important in email marketing? Today, I would like to dig a little bit deeper, go into hyper-personalization mode and micro-segmentation, tell a little bit what they are, how they're different from the generic or regular ones, show you some examples. I don't have much time. And yeah, let's roll. So, does anyone here in the audience know a brand, global brand, whose revenue, 35% of their revenue was generated by personalized product recommendations? It's a large amount of money, do you know? Of course, it's Amazon. Last year, they generated 514 or something billion dollars, and 35% of that was generated by offering their customers personalized product recommendations. So it seems to work. In email marketing, we see studies that marketers personalize some parts of email, either its subject line or the body, only 30% of the time. 70% of marketers don't do it basically ever. So based on that, I think there is a potential to grow. Last year, I talked about the results of personalization, how they might improve everything. Today, I'm going to show you, if going into deeper, how does it change more. Here is an example page of Amazon's product page. It's one of their most simplest personalization efforts. It's a crowd-based solution. Basically, they go through their orders and see what is frequently bought together, and then they show it out. And this is how it works. Yeah, so it's easy. Here is, okay, sorry. So let's define what is micro-segmentation and hyper-personalization. When we talk about segmentation, we usually think about macro-segmentation. So you have a list. It is separated into different segments, for example, based on location, what language your customers are talking about, maybe if they have a cat, maybe if they are men or women, if they have children. And you can send personalized content based on that. It's manual labor, but you can do it. In microsegmentation, we go one level deeper. We start to look at the customer's purchase history, or maybe their browsing history. We ask them their preferences. And usually there is some kind of AI, artificial intelligence algorithm needed for that, because you will get, instead of maybe a few segments, hundreds of segments. They are small segments, but inside those segments are people who are really unified in their needs. So, for example, one micro-segment might be women in their 30s interested in fitness. Yes, you can give them some kind of like sporting goods. Or maybe executives driving big cars and living in suburban areas. If you have such kinds of segments, those are micro-segments, and you can use them to do really direct marketing. Micro-segments rely on minute data, so this needs to be basically like up to date all the time. And with micro-segments, we value quality over quantity. Yes, so it means that in the list, the data must be like really correct. You have a lot of lists. With hyper-personalization, we can expand this information. So about this women in their 30s, liking fitness, if you know from their purchase history that their favorite color is, for example, pink, then you can give them pink running shoes. Those executives, if you know that they like golf, you can offer them golfing jacket or whatever, golfing clubs. So with microsegments, you get a lot of lists. You can send targeted email marketing too, but with hyper-personalization, you can personalize the templates you send out with personal product recommendations. So this is what we have done also here, but basically what Amazon is doing. Although Netflix also sends out newsletters which are personalized, I think the most interesting thing they do is in their app. This relies on minute data. If you open your app, they basically learn every second you spend there what they should offer you to get you spend more time in Netflix. So they do a lot of A/B testing. Here is an example of some covers from a series. They do about, I think, 250 tests every year to see which covers people like the most. And the best ones they take out, and they then apply hyper-personalization based on that. And they show you some particular cover based on your previous watch history. For example, if you are a horror movie fan, they will show you one cover. If you like romantic comedies, they will show you another cover. Here is another example. I bought a software, and for some reason the CEO wrote me personally. Okay, the reason is because I installed the software. I didn't start to yet use it because I was struggling with the setup. So they gave me some concrete advice how to go forward. And if anything, I can contact him directly. Seems like really personal stuff. They know my name, they know the product I'm using, they know where I am in the product lifecycle, and then they trigger this obviously automated email, which is a corporate email, but it works really well. Besides those emojis, this makes it a little bit spammy, but anyway. This is an example from nearby. This is one of our clients. They also wanted to talk to their clients a little bit more personally because they offer a variety of products not suitable for everyone. And we applied some artificial intelligence algorithms to see what the clients have preferred previously so we could know what to offer them in the future. But first of all, okay, I will show you the results in a few slides, but basically this is a really successful project. We can talk about this later. We have a booth here. If you want, I can show you how we did efficient micro segmentation with the lists based on what products they usually buy, and also hyper-personalization. So inside those templates were concrete products for everyone from this category, and it was really good. So, okay, let's sell more, let's increase return of investment. This is just talk, but actually there is a lot of research done on this area. I have the links. If you need, we can send them later, but basically during the couple of last years, about 90% of customers say that they prefer to do business with brands who remember their previous choices and offer some kind of personalization options. About 80% of customers say that they might increase their purchasing with the brands that offer those experiences. In e-commerce, more than 50% people already expect some kind of personalization options. They want personal offers, not just like generic stuff. 80% of people are willing to share their personal information in exchange for better experiences in e-commerce, in email marketing, everywhere. And 75% of people say that they are sad if those offers that come are not personalized. So yes, you will get all of this. This is the project we did. In this column are different artificial intelligence algorithms we tested. Those are like specialized for different kinds of things, but we try to figure out which ones work better for this customer segment. We found out some really good ones. Actually, today morning I talked with the developer. He found a new algorithm that performed even 15% better than the best one from here. And we tested those things against a random sample. That's the first line. These are just some plain generic products that usually are sent in the newsletter. And also with the popularity model, top selling products. But you cannot send like this hard liquor to people who buy wine all the time. So they didn't trigger from that. So, and the client has a lot of microsegments. With every AI algorithm here are present 3 segments based on what the people prefer. For example, they look at the price range of the products or wine features or wine types. And inside those microsegments, we send out newsletters, recurring newsletters with hyper-personalized product recommendations. So you got your wine types, she got her wine types, he got his wine types, etc. And what we found out was those lines are average revenue from every email generated after sending out. And after that, if a purchase came with the product we offered or assisted product, which was similar to the one that we offered, then we counted it toward to the revenue. So compared to the test groups, with the random sample, the differences were 12 to 50 times bigger, the AI algorithms. And with the popularity model, if you send just top products, the algorithm still performed 2 to 8 times better. So yeah, the client wants to go on with this project. It's really good. So data is really powerful if you use it, if you have it. So this is all business to customer. With business to customer, it's pretty easy. If I know you, I can offer you some products that trigger you. There might be some window shopping, there might be some impulse purchases. But in business to business, there are a little bit more layers to that. Because in business to business, personal preferences do not play such a big role. You have to know the job that the person is doing in the company. They want to be really efficient in that job. So you have to offer them products and options that help in this regard. And also you have to take account the company that they are working for. What is the occupancy or field, industry of this company? So basically there are a few more layers to that. But if you are doing with an AI, you cannot do this with an AI. Luckily today, there are a lot of tools with AI, but it can be done. So everything is not as shiny always as it seems, and sometimes something can hit the fan. The usual problems with any kind of personalization, even not mentioning hyper-personalization, is research shows that about 60% of companies have out-of-date data about their customers. Basically, when we say that you have a mailing list, then 25% of it will go bad every year. You have to constantly update it, ask for information, learn from the purchase history, etc. So, and if you use this information, you might get data failure, which means you will send out to the wrong person with the wrong data, the wrong time, with the wrong content. They might get upset. About 40% of customers say that they might end purchasing from companies that have bad personalization practices. So if you are using data to personalize, it's really important to do it correctly, test it all the time. I think one of the best examples when personalization went like really bad, in a creepy way, is with US retail chain Target when they send out ads to women congratulating them on pregnancy. And one of those ads was received by a teenage girl's parents who didn't know about it. And urban legend says that Target even got a gender and approximate birth date correct. So if you have the data, it might be really powerful. And also a creepy mode thing is if you use some kind of third-party data. You might not have everything, but you use some kind of like a scraper, you use LinkedIn, or maybe you have a partner company, maybe it's even a sister company in your corporation. So if I get an email that has some kind of information inside that I know is correct, but I don't know when and if I gave you at all, then I start asking questions. So this is also not good. The best information is zero-party data or first-party data, which means what you have asked from the client or what you have learned from their actions. So if you can use this for personalization, then this works really well. The usual problems with personalization, has anyone gotten an email, hello, first name, last name from company, how are you doing? Well, yeah. And okay. This one thing is what has annoyed me a couple of times is over-personalization. I already bought something from you, and now you still send me reactivation campaigns and doing retargeting with the same product, and even worse, if it's with the better price, I'm getting mad. Luckily, we live in the European Union, so our data is pretty much protected. I already covered the third-party data. GDPR actually doesn't allow to do this at all. But if you want to start doing personalization, you have to have some kind of data. GDPR states that you have to ask it from your customers. They have to know about it. They have to know which data you use, how you use it. You cannot ask too much. It is only necessary. And they have to have the option to opt out. So if I don't want, then you can't. And actually there is one permission needs to be asked for marketing overall and the other one for profiling to do this kind of thing. What I've seen in a few cases is some brands find a fancy AI tool from the internet. They happily push all their customer information inside this and start getting results. It works really well. But then came out that they don't have the permission to do it, and this tool might be also not located in the European Union, so you don't have permission to send out your customer data from the EU. So it hasn't yet caused any problems in the Baltics, but it might in the future. So better be safe. All right, the statistics say that 30% of email brands who send email marketing personalize something. I hope that you are not one of those 30%, sorry, of those 70%, and you will be part of this 30%, that you can take something together with you. If you want to discuss about those things, we have the booth. I can show you the numbers, and we can help you. And also, you can subscribe to our newsletter. We organize webinars, we write blog posts, and do podcasts about those topics. I think email marketing seems easy. How hard is it to send out an email? But actually, it can be like go really wide, and there are a lot of aspects to think about. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the presentation. It was very interesting, and I have a few questions. I was checking the platform and there are no questions. So usually no questions happens when it's completely everything's clear or completely everything's unclear. So while I will be talking to Erkki, maybe you have chance to drop your last questions if you want to clarify something. Anyway, you started with Netflix, so my question is like, I know that Netflix has like more than 3,000 like those segments, hyper-personalized segments, how they target and how they offer you personalized content, right? So can you disclose how the most micro segments like your client has?
I think also thousands.
Thousands?
Yeah, no problem. Because as I said, it's quality over quantity. If you have maybe 5 customers in one segment that you know will always buy if you send them something, then it's a good segment already.
Okay. And is there like a minimal, like reasonable threshold, size of the customer base to go into micro segmentation?
Okay, that's a good question. Well, if you have 5 customers in total, then 5 segments is the max you can go, but maybe tens of thousands. Yeah.
10,000, because yeah, it's probably basically about infrastructure costs and all the stuff when it makes like.
Actually, today
reasonable.
the infrastructure, basically everything is in the cloud. You have one service provider or another. There might be some kind of AI tool. Maybe you use some kind of also online service for that. There are a lot of options. Everything is connected to plugins and integrations nowadays, so it's not that much, but. I think reasonable amount of data comes from if you have, for example, if you A/B test, the test group should be at least 500, maybe 1,000 subscribers. So one test, second test, if you have already third or the fourth test, then you go into thousands. And the more data you have, the better the results will be. If you have a customer base of a couple of tens of thousands of customers, then all of those are not actively buying. So the ones you can work with are maybe, I think, a third of those, or anyway. So.
Okay. And from small business perspective, and or from single entrepreneur, so if he comes to you, is it enough for him to be like one-man show? And to start with like hyper-personalization, or it's a kind of already you need to have like dedicated person for that and to work on automations and so on?
Actually, this is also a good question. This is, I think it's a real problem because the reason why not enough personalization is done is because small businesses have to do a lot of other things like cleaning and bookkeeping and and their job. So then I send out this newsletter also. And think about some kind of hyper-personalization. What the hell? Sorry, I don't have time for this. So with those clients that we work with and that I showed you, they usually have either a dedicated person for that, or they outsource it, or they do it as a project. So we think of everything as much as we can, put it to work, and then step by step improve on that later on with other projects. So no AI tool can do it by itself. Every business is a little bit different. So if you want to get results, you have to know your customers, you have to know your products, you have to know everything in the business you are. No tool does this for you, no company other than you does this for you. So the input must come from you. There is a lot of pre-work that needs to be done.
Thank you. At least last question from my side about legal stuff, GDPR and all. I think that all marketers know the headache for that. So in your experience, how many people opt out, or basically more precisely we should say opt in into be able to profile, personalize and so on? So how big is this problem? I know that in EU overall it is, but let's say maybe for Baltics you have some data.
Unfortunately, in Baltics there is not much data about profilation and hyper-personalization at all, but I referenced to a study that says that if asked correctly, then about 80% of people are willing to give out their data in exchange of better experience with your brand. So, but it needs to be done correctly. So it should be a win-win situation. You give me this information, I provide you with better personalized product recommendations, for example, or I know your purchase history, and based on that, I can give you some kind of like something in exchange. Then it's okay.
Thank you. I lied about the last question from my side. We still because audience is warming up. There is no question, any question yet from their side. But regarding the data collection, you said enrich the data, right? So there are also ways to collect data prior, like before customer signing. So it's like it's done in beauty services, in health services. So they collect data in advance. So in your but usually it comes with a trade-off. Basically, lower conversion rate, because the longer personalization journey is, then the lower conversion rate. How you what would be your one advice how to tackle and find that the problem and find that sweet spot to collect information prior, but also not to ruin your conversion rate completely?
Constant warming up, like anticipation. Okay, this one is coming. Whatever this is that you are preparing to. So it's actually also again a good question. I've seen a lot of cases where some companies, some brands are started collecting data, and then they haven't used it for a year, maybe more. And when they finally start doing it, then people say, "Who are you? I don't remember giving my address to you." Yeah. So you have to like be active all the time anyway.